Greetings, film fanatics. Filmholmes here, and welcome to another rendition of Too Many Movies. Okay, there was a certain movie that came out earlier this year that I really wanted to see in the theaters, but unfortunately I never got a chance to. When I saw the trailer in the movie theater, and then of course I would rewatch it on YouTube, it got me really excited. It's hard for a trailer to make me laugh, and this trailer really made me laugh, and it seemed like it was going to be a great comedy. The movie I'm talking about is Hail Caesar. I was very excited for it. It's another film by Joel and Ethan Cohen. They directed it, they wrote it, they produced it, they edited it, they fucking do everything. Because they're the Cohen Brothers, and they're amazing. They're Academy Award winning directors, writers, producers. They've been nominated for editing quite a few times. They've made classic movies, Fargo, No Country for Old Men, Raising Arizona. They've made their mark in Hollywood. They're known for writing and directing really weird movies that don't really follow the Hollywood norm. And when I saw Hail Caesar, it looked like a really funny comedy set during one of my favorite time periods ever, like the 40s and 50s in Hollywood. I love the way that it looks, that movies make them look, even like video games make them look, TV shows makes it look. I freaking love it. I love that time period, especially during the Hollywood film system. I just love it so much. So when I saw the movie and the cast, George Clooney, Channing Tatum, Scarlett Johansson, Tilda Swinton, Frances McDormand, Josh Brolin in the main role, oh god, and a lot of others. I mean, the casting was brilliant. And the trailer, like I said, it made me laugh, and I was really disappointed when I didn't get a chance to see it in theaters. Very disappointed. I was pretty pissed off about it, but everything comes out on home media pretty quick nowadays, so I pre-ordered my copy and was really excited when it came in the mail the other day. And I finally watched the film. Well, right before I watched the film, I looked up what the ratings were, and on Rotten Tomatoes, the film has, I think, like an 85. It's in the 80s. It got pretty good ratings. Now, on the flip side of that, the audience rating for it is in the 40s. And that shocked me. That's rare. That never happens for a film. It's usually, if it's really high with the critics, it's pretty high with the audiences. And sometimes it's really low with the critics, but pretty high with the audiences. Like X-Men Apocalypse, a movie I just reviewed recently. So I was a little surprised, and I was like, okay, well, what is it? Was this the Coen Brothers movie? Because, I mean, not every single one of their movies have been huge hits, but usually it's a lot more even than that. I mean, even little movies like The Man Who Wasn't There or Barton Fink, those have kind of become cult classics. And the ratings for those movies are, you know, maybe not even, but they're a lot closer than 80% and 40%. So I was very curious and popped in the Blu-ray and watched this movie. I watched it. What the fuck did I watch? Honestly, what the fuck did I watch? I don't know what the hell I watched. I'm gonna go ahead and say I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. Coen Brothers movies are fucking weird movies. They don't follow a normal narrative. Fargo is considered one of the greatest movies ever made, and also one of the greatest comedies ever made. Maybe I haven't seen it enough. I get it, but I don't. I don't understand why it's one of the best comedies. I didn't find it that funny. Gasp! I know, but I didn't, and it didn't click with me. Raising Arizona, it kind of clicked with me. No Country for Old Men, it clicked with me. Fargo didn't. And other movies like Burn After Reading, that didn't click with me either. I thought some parts were funny. But every single movie, I was able to take something from it. You know, I was able to get a little something, whether it be from the drama or from the comedy. And Hail Caesar, I can honestly say, I didn't take a thing from it. It's shot beautifully. It's really shot. It looks fantastic. I wish I would have seen it in the theater. I do wish that, because it looks great. All the actors do a fantastic job. But, okay. Before I shot this, or before I'm shooting this, a thought occurred to me. I don't ever go through what the plot is. I just said who wrote it and directed it. I realize I'm not doing that nowadays, so I need to get back into doing that if I'm going to keep doing this show. So, Hail Caesar, like I said, is directed and written by the Cohen Brothers, Joel and Ethan. It takes place in 1951. Josh Brolin is the main character. I'm sorry I don't remember the damn characters' names, but he's a fixer at a Hollywood studio. Basically, a main star, George Clooney, goes missing. He's kidnapped from the set, and the fixer has to try to figure out what the hell happened and try to fix it. He's also dealing with his own personal life. He's dealing with other disgruntled actors, news reporters, writers and columnists for the newspapers and stuff like that. And basically just all the messes going on. While it's kind of making fun of the time period, you know, the bad movies that were coming out of Hollywood during that time, real cheesy, and how the actors could be. And, okay, that's basically the plot. If there really is a plot to this movie, it doesn't have a main plot. The kidnapping plot, it's there, but it doesn't really do anything. It doesn't fucking go anywhere. It's disappointing. Honestly, the movie was excruciatingly disappointing. It wasn't boring. It flowed really well. It was only an hour and 46 minutes. I think it should have been a lot longer, because a lot of these characters I really loved. I love the Scarlett Johansson character. She did a great job. She's only in like 2 scenes. When I saw Jonah Hill in the trailer, he was really funny. He got 1 scene. That was it. Channing Tatum only gets a couple scenes. And what they do with this character, I still don't understand what they did with this character. I don't get it. George Clooney was very funny in this, but they didn't go far enough with this character. It could have been a lot funnier, and they didn't do anything. Josh Brolin's the only one where his character is fully realized. He's not funny, but he carries the movie and does a tremendous job. I like Josh Brolin, and this is another great performance by him. I mean, Tilda Swinton does a good job, but she plays twin sisters, and I thought that there'd be a joke, some kind of payoff to her having a twin sister, and they're like rival columnists. And no, nothing comes of it. And that's the thing. There are a lot of setup for jokes, and maybe I just didn't get it, but they fall flat. There's no payoff for any of these major jokes. Scarlett Johansson's character is pregnant by one of several men, and it kind of has a payoff, but it doesn't. It does just, the situation fixes itself, but there could have been so much more done with that. There's this cowboy character who's very funny, and the scene in the trailer with him trying to say lines, but he's got like a Texas drawl, you know, and it's funny in the trailer, really funny. In the movie, it's funny, but it's not as funny as it could have been. It just, I don't know, the comedy in this wasn't as comedic as it should have been. The trailer kind of showed the best comedic parts, but they fall flat in the movie. And yeah, I'm very disappointed in Hail Caesar. I'll fully admit. I didn't hate it. I just didn't love it. I liked it. It was shot wonderfully, and the sets are gorgeous, and all the actors do a great job, but I think the cast is too big. There's too many actors and too many characters, and the movie's not long enough to give everyone the time they need, because these are great characters. I would have liked to have seen a 2.5-hour movie of this. I think it could have worked. But what do I know? I mean, like I said, the Coen Brothers movies are weird, and even if you love their movies, you have to admit, most of the movies I've seen, I don't fucking understand them most of the time. And I consider myself to be a pretty intelligent film nerd, but I don't really get it. But that's a good thing about their movies, because they make you watch them over and over and over and over and over. And you may never get it, but you'll get some more pieces every single time. And I'm hoping that's what happens with Hail Caesar, because it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. It was a great premise, a great story, not fully realized, not fully evolved. Like, this is easy to say, but when I was watching it, I kept going, God, I wish I could have been given the script. I could have made this funny. And that's not a good... I'm not saying I can write better than the Cohen brothers. I know I can't. But when you're thinking that while watching it, something is wrong. The direction is spot on, and the cinematography is spot on, the acting's spot on, but that script, where's the humor? It's just a bunch of random dialogue, and not good Quentin Tarantino random dialogue, because he makes his shit funny. This dialogue's not funny. There are some good jokes in this, but again, the big jokes, there are no payoffs. And Coen Brothers movies, to me, it's like, if I can be crude for a second, sorry, but it's like if you jerk off for 2 hours, but you don't have an orgasm. Like, for this movie, I was jerking off for an hour 46 minutes, but I got no release. It just ended. And I was like, well, nothing's going to happen. I guess I'll go to bed. Most Coen Brothers movies are like that. But again, most of their movies, I got something out of it. Hail Caesar, I got nothing. Nothing. I could have not seen this movie, and my life would be exactly the same. And that's not what cinema is for me. I want to go see a movie. I want it to change my perception on movies. I want it to change my life a little bit. And that's a little drastic or a little dramatic. I'm just saying I want it to stick with me. I want it to resonate with me. I want to remember that movie 5 years down the line. I remember No Country for Old Men. I remember Raising Arizona. Fuck, I even remember Fargo. But I'm probably not going to remember Hail Caesar. But to be fair, I'm going to set it aside for a few weeks, and I'm going to watch it again to see if it gets better or if it gets worse. Maybe I'll get something from it, maybe I won't. So I hate to say it, I love the Coen Brothers, I look up to them. I don't recommend Hail Caesar. If you're a Coen Brothers fan, watch it. Maybe you'll get something out of it. But me personally, I didn't. A lot of shit ended spot on, and when jokes hit, they hit pretty well. And perhaps I just didn't understand it. It's very possible. Maybe I should have turned my brain on. Maybe I've been watching too many Disney Marvel movies where you can kind of turn your brain off a little bit. You know, Coen Brothers movies are very smart. Or they're not, and it's just random writing, and we think it's smart. I don't know. I really don't. I know that's not the case. They're brilliant filmmakers. But Hail Caesar, it's interesting, but maybe it's just me being selfish. It's not what I wanted it to be, and that's selfish because it's not my movie. It was their movie. It's what they wanted it to be. But I was really expecting something else. So even though, like, it's a wonderful cast, kind of misused, but a wonderful cast, but the acting is spot on. It's great. George Clooney is very funny in it. I like when he plays. He's playing the handsome guy, and he's not dumb. He's just not really there. And Josh Brolin does a great job. Scarlett Johansson, I loved her character. You know, she was a highlight. Ralph Fiennes plays a director. I wish there was more with him. He was funny. The cowboy dude, he was really good too. I liked him. But again, we don't really get to know these characters. We don't get to spend enough time. I know it's just a couple days in the life of these characters, but there are too many characters. You should have taken some characters out or made the movie longer. Because I like the world they set up, I just didn't feel like I got to spend enough time in it. So I feel a little gypped. I really do. But the direction's really good. I don't think the script was as spot on as I wanted it to be. The comedy was definitely not there. You know, maybe they should have just made this a straight up drama, honestly. But I like the Coen Brothers' sense of humor. It didn't hit with me this time. So anyway, it's got a lot of good in it, but if you go watch the trailers, it's not going to be the movie you think it is. So my final rating for Hail Caesar, after thinking it over, because I watched it a few hours ago, for now, I'm going to give it a 2.5 out of 5. I really want to give it a 3, because I have a feeling, like with most Joel and Ethan movies, most Coen Brothers movies, there's a lot of it I didn't understand, and a lot of the dialogue, it goes by so quick, and it feels like, or it sounds like they're mumbling it, and I would rewind it, and I'm like, what the fuck did he just say? And I'd listen to it, and I still couldn't understand it. I'm like, well, I don't want to read subtitles in a movie that's in English, so fuck it, I'll just move on. And that was disappointing. Like, a lot of it just felt really rushed, or could you have done some more takes? I don't know, but I still enjoyed it. and the movie, it flows great. It went by super quick, which is a good thing, but maybe not such a good thing. So again, 2.5 out of 5. If you're a Coen Brothers fan, give it a try, but rent it. Don't buy it. Like, I don't regret buying it because I'm a collector. I have all these movies. I want to have all the Coen Brothers movies. But for casual moviegoers, I don't recommend it for you. If you're a Coen Brothers fan, give it a try. If you know something about the movie, if you see something in the movie that I didn't see, please leave it in the comments. Let me know. I'm not ashamed to admit when I don't get a movie. There are a lot of movies that I didn't get. One in particular, Hot Fuzz. I thought Hot Fuzz was one of the worst movies I'd ever seen in my life. No joke. I heard it was hilarious. It didn't make me laugh. I thought it was awful. I didn't get it. Within one day, I bought it, watched it, and then sold it. I hated it. I was a big fan of Shaun of the Dead. I despised Hot Fuzz. And it took watching reviews online and honestly having it explained to me, and now it's one of my all-time favorite comedies. So I have no issue admitting when I don't understand a movie. And Coen Brothers movies, they're pretty hard to understand. They're out there. But I still love their work, you know. And Hail Caesar is interesting, to say the least. So I will watch it again in the near future, give it a second chance, and I really, really hope it becomes... It's not going to be the movie that I wanted, but it could be a good movie in my collection. So, those are my thoughts and my review on the Coen Brothers' Hail Caesar. Hope you found it enjoyable. As you can see, I got more shit I gotta watch. So, until next time, take care. Bye.